Oh, we're on. Hello and welcome to the Science Fiction Double Feature podcast. Science Fiction Double Feature does Disco Fever. It's the latest in our series, our now fortnightly series, talking about Star Trek Discovery, which we are watching on Netflix because we don't live in America, which is nice because we don't have to pay for CBS All Access. So we're going to talk about the last two episodes, which were Leth and Magic to Make the Sanest Man Go Mad. This is my co-host Terry, who I'm told has notes. Say hello, Terry.
Hello, Terry. I do have notes. I usually rock up without them, and I always forget half of what I want to say and who the characters are. So I have notes this time.
I never have notes, and it's marginal at best in terms of results. So, all right. I liked both of these episodes myself. Did you like them?
Yes, it's. I was a little bit upset in the first one.
In
Um,
Leth, what were you upset about? What?
is it the first one or the second one?
So the
My
first, so
notes.
while you're looking at that, I'll tell people what kind of happened in the episodes.
Yeah,
How about
remind
that?
me. Oh, no, it's the
Okay.
second one. Don't worry.
Okay. Never mind. Well,
You
okay.
tell
Well,
us.
so in Leth, Sarek, played by James Frayne, who is Spock's
Mm.
dad, and Burnham's sort of what's the opposite of a ward? Burnham is his ward, so he's her carer, I guess. I guess that's how you'd say it. He gets captured. No, he gets marooned in a space disaster caused by some space terrorists, and Burnham has to go and rescue him. So we get a whole bunch of backstory about them. That's all really solid. We also get a sort of wacky side plot about Captain Lorca and his boss slash therapist slash lover, Admiral Cornwall, which is all very interesting. Except for all those things I just said, boss slash lover slash therapist, not a good combination. And it's generally tight. And then in Magic to Make the Sanest Man Go Mad, Rainn Wilson comes back as Harry Mudd, which is a big surprise for me. I didn't think he'd be very good, but then he is. And we get a very, very tight time loop Groundhog Day episode with a party. Which is tremendous fun. Yes, we fortuitously named this podcast Disco Fever, not expecting that they would be wearing t-shirts that say disco and then actually having a disco. So that's gone really
Yeah.
well for us. So that's gone quite well. Yes, I thought Magic to Make the Sanest Man Go Mad. I thought that was really, really tight. Is that the what? This actually no. Let's talk about Leth first. Let's do
Yeah,
it in
let's
a
talk
word.
about episode 6.
Leith.
Um,
Leith? I don't know. I'm not sure. What's up with Leith for you?
Well, it was a good episode. You get to see like the start of the bond of the crew coming together that we have been complaining that we've been missing. I think you get to see the start of that with Burnham and Tilly here, and then as they're chatting to the new security guy, Lieutenant Tyler. Um, so you can kind of see that starting all come together, which I really liked. Lorca's still a jerk, but in a cool way. I like him. I like him. He's a jerk, but he's like House. He's a jerk, but he's good.
Gets results.
That's right. He does what he has to do. So yeah, I like the crew thing. They've actually finally coming together as a crew. So that was pretty good. The Vulcan extremist. I really like that. I'd like to see a bit. Well, I don't know if they were going to show too much more of that, but that was interesting. I like how there was these purebred Vulcans who don't want to be like messing with other lower beings like humans. Don't mix our blood, man. Don't mix our blood. So I like seeing that. It was because I don't know. For me, who's had a limited amount of Star Trekkiness, Vulcans seem very like a very perfect race. They're very um, understanding and accepting of everyone, and I like seeing that there was this side of it where that is the extremists and discrimination and that. So they're not on high for me anymore, which is good. What else? Oh, Lorca. He said something really cool when they were about to go off into the nebula. Um, he said something to Lieutenant Tyler, the new security guy. He's like, "Bring her back in one piece." "I will, sir. Not a scratch on her." And he's like, "Not her, not the ship. Burn him." So I'd like to see what he's got plans for her. He's cooking up something.
Yes, he must have a scheme.
He's cooking up something. So yeah, I'm just really interested in seeing that. And I think it was pretty predictable that he was going to try and get his lover killed.
It didn't go as I expected entirely. I
He was
thought
going to shoot
something
her.
would happen. Yeah. Yeah. I definitely agree that in those last two episodes we've definitely seen sort of the gang come together. Sort of we're getting a core of Tilly and I'm gonna just drop my microphone, caused a massive bang. It's very professional here at Science Fiction Double Feature. Um, yeah, I'm going to use characters' first names. We're sort of seeing a core of friends of Sylvia and Michael and Ash coming together, which is really, really fun. And they sort of, yes, they go on a cool space adventure. It's interesting. It's this series. I mean, even though yes, it's a prequel. I mean, it's had very, and apart from the presence of Sarek, we've had very little to sort of tie it to the rest of Star Trek too much. Now we're kind of this episode we kind of see a lot more. We see much more context of Spock, who we've seen previously, quite notably, and yeah, it sort of ties in and resonates. Although I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing because it's not tying into the grand history of Star Trek, and it's not kind of meta or about Star Trek. It's about a specific character. Um, it still works as an episode, still works dramatically, but I'm not still not sure if that necessarily justifies Discovery as a prequel. Not that critical. Um, yeah, but yes, they're all super best friends, which is fantastic. I kind of feel I've had this fixation with Tilly, who has been a character I have really wanted to like, which you may have noticed in the last couple of podcasts. And I feel here she's a completely different character. Um, yeah, these last two episodes, she seems completely different. I like her. We've sort of got past the well, the show generally does seem to have issues with explaining people's feelings, but we've kind of got through most of that, the worst of that, I think, at the moment. But yeah, it's good to see everybody coming together and being super best friends. I'm not quite sure how I feel about Lorca at the moment, simply because he's too obviously villainous, and I want something a bit more complex than that. I mean, it does. There's no real. He's so obviously a villain of some sort that there's no real tension in that. I mean, it'll be fun to see how it plays out. It'll be interesting to see who does what when something inevitably happens that has to be resolved. But it doesn't feel that particularly tense around Lorca himself. He's quite clearly a bad man that everyone should run away from. But we'll have to see how that happens, but not necessarily why it happens. But generally, yeah, I think it was a very, very strong episode. I'm liking Ash Tyler. He's a very, very likable young man, which is good. It was a good episode. And then in the next one, they went to a party. Oh my god, it was so exciting. I really liked the party, and I thought, yeah, Magic to Make the Sanest Man Go Mad has been, I think, the first really, really good Discovery episode. It's sort of, as Terry said, as sort of the characters are hitting their stride. Critically for me as well, Saru, who is also one of my favourites, was a bit less hostile towards Burnham. I want those two to sort of move past their, quite legitimate personal issues and just become super best friends again. I want them to be in the core club of super great characters that I really like seeing hang out together. Harry Mudd had an Andorian space helmet, and he was horrible and vicious, which I thought was great. It was just really taut. What did you think of Magic to Make the Sanest Man Go Mad? I'm loving these titles as well. They're really fun to say.
Oh yeah, they're good titles. I was a little bit disappointed,
How so?
but it did come good. It did come good in the end, because it started off so fun. They're partying, and Rapid's getting high off these magic mushroom spores that he's flying through. He maybe not getting high, but he's definitely changing. He's loosening up a hell of a lot, and I'm
Yeah,
glad
he's
that
another.
he is
Yeah.
so getting high off these mushroom spores. He's getting those magic mushrooms.
Well, he
Um,
doesn't have magic mushrooms. He got his DNA changed.
I know, but it's because of the spores. Um,
Okay.
yeah, and then they find this giant space whale and they got to rescue it and take it to like a sanctuary. I thought, this is cool. I want to see this episode. Let's take a break from the war and all the action and let's just have a nice episode where they've got to relocate this whale and there's a problem on the way or something. But no, and then we got more action. Ah, I was so disappointed when the guy came out the mouth. I don't know if he did come out the mouth, but I can't remember.
They come out the butt. I don't
No.
know how space whales work. I did like that there was a space whale. Should have always be space
Yeah.
whales.
So yes, I was a little bit disappointed that more action. Oh wait, it's a Groundhog Day thing. But it actually came pretty fresh, and I really enjoyed it. Once I got into it, I didn't think I was going to because everybody does a Groundhog Day thing, and it's way overdone. But I think they found a nice way to keep it fresh, and I think a lot of that had to do with what's his face, Rapid. What's his name? What's his first name?
Do you mean
The
Stamets? Anthony
yeah,
Rapp?
Stamets. Yeah, that's that guy. Well, I'm saying his real name. That's because I'm cool.
Okay. Stamets. I forget his first name. Jerry? No, that's not right. Yeah, again, he's another character who's, for reasons explained in the show, has been completely changed. I quite like him at the moment.
He reminds me of Alan Tudyk.
I guess that's true. That's
Just
fair. Well, Sudik was a
especially in
lot
this
funnier.
episode. Hmm.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it is. I guess very much so in this. He's loosened up and he's running around frantically, which seems like the sort of thing that Alan Tudyk would do.
Hmm.
I
And
like
his
him.
eyes are like a shark's. It could be because he's just very white everywhere else, but his
He is the
eyes are
world's
so black,
blondest man. He
and his
is Anthony
eyes are
Rapp.
so black.
Is Yeah. I don't think he's actually that blonde in real life. Looking at his Twitter photo image, whatever that's called, Twitter icon. I don't
Profile.
think he's actually this blonde. But yes, Stamets is the blondest man in the world.
Hmm. So yeah, they're my thoughts. I like how it wasn't all about being nasty Lorca and stuff. It was a good, fun episode, which I think
Yeah,
we did need.
Lorca's barely in it, which is
Yeah,
fantastic. I love how uncompromising they are about Harry Mudd, Harry Mudd is this character that was in the original series for 2 episodes, one of which is hilarious, and the other has really odd gender politics that I've never quite figured out and really don't want to touch. Um, yeah, he is vicious here, and he is uncompromising, and he is not a funny person. He's like the horrible, the purely horrible human that the original Harry Mudd most likely was. He just wasn't shown that way. Um, and I think this is a fantastic way to do it, to not kind of riff on those tired old 60s jokes, but to say, okay, this is a bad person who did bad things, and we're going to show that. I think that's fantastic.
yeah. I haven't seen him in the original series.
He has an earring, it's great, and he has a hat. I think he has an earring.
Ooh. He might
I
get
don't
them
want to.
later. I don't
Do you
think he
want to
had
know
an earring.
if we're gonna follow up with Stuart the Bug, who has parted ways with Harry Mudd? I want to know his backstory.
Ooh.
I think that would be exciting.
Maybe he goes to Earth, and then the guys from Men in Black exterminate him.
It's the
Is
world's
he that guy
strangest.
from the first? Is he the guy from the first Men in Black episode?
most unsatisfying fan fiction I've ever heard.
Either that or they get him in Starship Troopers. So take your pick.
Oh, maybe. Yes. So I guess what else do we have to say on this? I think it's tight at the moment. I agree that it's a very action-oriented take on Star Trek, which it kind of has to be. That's okay, given that it's an ongoing series about a war. It'll be interesting to see, how far they stray from that. Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's good so far, and I think it's interesting that Magic to Make the Sanest Man Go Mad is basically a standalone episode. It follows on from, I think it was Choose Your Pain. It follows on from stuff in Choose Your Pain, but you can kind of watch it independently, and it's as just a solid episode of Discovery, which I think is good. I think it's fantastic that they're doing sort of standalone-ish episode while still having an overall arc. Although on the other hand, it's kind of odd that no one seems to care about that admiral who's in Klingon prison. But anyway, I'm sure we'll come back to her. Or the Klingon War, no one seemed that upset about it. And never mind, it was a good episode. It's a good episode of Star Trek.
That's kind of what I liked about it. We got away from. It wasn't as dark as the previous 6 episodes.
Yeah, you didn't have to remember anything. You can just enjoy it as it is.
Episode of the week.
It is. It's this week on Star Trek Discovery. Mudd goes back and forth in time, and Burnham learns a special lesson about love. And we had people's feelings were explained. Okay, that's okay. It wasn't too bad this time because there was a space disco, which was wonderful. And there should be more space discos in Star Trek, and I don't know why there's so few. Anyway.
Do you think we should get shirts that say disco on them?
Yes, I want to see if I can get a shirt that says disco. People have been making jokes that, do the other space, are they like shirts that just say enter on the Enterprise? Enter. Does Deep Space Nine have a shirt that just says deep?
And what if those two guys got together?
I don't know. Deep, enter deep. And then
Enter
someone's
deep.
hanging around in a shirt that says Voyag. Working at all.
All right.
I think that's anything else? Star Trek, it's good. I'm looking forward to the next episode, which has some Latin title that I don't know how to say.
I'm going to give it a go. Si vis pacem parabellum.
Is it Si vis pacem parabellum? Yeah, it'll do. We'll have to find out what that's about. Whether there's more discos or space admirals or any such things.
Yeah, I'm thinking they'll probably. Well, it actually mentions the Klingons in the little spiel. So I think we're back to dark action.
Okay.
Star Trek.
Dark action. All right, we'll have to find out what's going on with that. Maybe we'll find out what happened to that Volk guy. Is he? He went off to meet some space witches to learn about the Force or something, and we haven't heard since. Find out.
He's still in the Giorgio, waiting.
He's just hanging out there, probably. Yes.
Oh wait, no, that was the captain, wasn't it? The Shenzhou.
Yeah, the Shenzhou, not the Giorgio. Yeah.
The Giorgio is captain.
Yes. Maybe he's hanging out. I mean, they ate her, so maybe he's still okay. Anyway, all right. Let's wrap this up. What do I say here? If you want to read our reviews and such like, you can find it on the main blog, which is sfdfmoviereviews.tumblr.com. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/sfdfmoviereviews. You can find us on Twitter at sfdfmoviereview, singular, because we ran out of letters. If you just want to listen to the podcast, you can find us at soundcloud.com/sfdf or wherever good SoundClouds are found. We're also on iTunes, just search SFDF. We're also on YouTube, just search SFDF. If you want to email us, you can get to us in space, no one can eat ice cream at gmail.com. And if you want links to all these things, because I've said them too quickly, they're all down the right side of the main blog, along with a whole bunch of other good stuff, which again is sfdfmoviereviews.tumblr.com. All right, that's about it for us for about 10 minutes because we're going to go talk about Thor Ragnarok. So say goodbye, Terry.
Goodbye, Terry.
Okay, bye.